announcement on how it's doing today. All this and more right here on WCTV.
And now, your 5 o'clock news on Channel 14.
Thanks for tuning in to Channel 14 News. I'm Brock Owens.
And I'm Michael Leaf. Waynesburg University's esports team has wrapped up regular season play across all games in its program. This week, I went in depth to take a deeper look at that story. There's a new athletic program on campus. Esports launched a great fanfare this semester. We've seen things like new programs added and support for the program has grown across campus. But how are all these athletes doing?
4 of our teams are being represented in the playoffs this year, and so for a first-time program, that's huge. And considering we didn't have any outside recruitment based on when I took the position, these are all athletes that we've had internally at Waynesburg prior to the program even starting. And so it's amazing what our athletes have been able to accomplish this year, and we're really excited to see the future.
One team that has been successful, Rocket League. We
went 8-0 this season, and prior to that we won every game of activation, which is kind of like qualifying matches for the conference we play in.
Another game that has been successful is Super Smash Bros. Ultimate.
For Super Smash Bros., we've also had a lot of success there. I look back at the match Timbo had against Budget Viking during the season. Both of them were undefeated going into the match.
In that match, Tim fell behind by 2 games, but came back and won the next 3 straight to win the match.
Tim runs him down with a roller, locks him down. Is he able to get it? Yes, sir! Timbo able to complete the reverse sweep, wins, and stays undefeated and on top of the Metropolitan C division.
I think that one is kind of at the heart of what esports is, where it's people that are gathered around enjoying competition and seeing each other victorious in the end.
The third team in the program, League of Legends, lost in the first round of the playoffs last night. The final game in the program, Overwatch 2, which got off to a late start for the season.
The publishing company Blizzard, they were running a game called Overwatch, and essentially they launched Overwatch 2, or had this idea of launching it, but it was going to get rid of Overwatch 1. It was essentially a giant patch that would just turn Overwatch 1 into Overwatch 2. And so they didn't want tournaments to take place where it was taking criteria or qualifications from Overwatch 1 and applying it to Overwatch 2 results. Overwatch 2 was released in October. As soon as it was released, we had very little time to get used to and accustomed to the game, and there's quite a few changes from the first game. But that said, we were able to start later, and we just doubled up on games. So every Thursday we played 2 games instead of 1.
In the future, Pioch said that he expects to add more games to the program, but did not say which ones they would be.
We're looking at adding some games to kind of the 4 we already play. I'm going to keep the curtains closed on that a little bit as we're refining that and looking exactly to pinpoint which games to add. But beyond that, we're looking to extend some of our streaming as well, having more shoutcasters and things, and start building up the program where students can get more experience behind cameras, working on the computers, doing the production side of things.
Now, something that will be added next semester is this esports viewing booth, which has been delayed due to supply chain issues, but soon students will be able to watch the esports teams compete. With photojournalist Tim Durkin, I'm Michael Leaf, WCTV Channel 14.
Fall craft shows are back around the area as people get together to celebrate the autumn colors and the talent within the local community. Gwen Napier has more.
The EQT Rec Center hosted their annual Fall Vendor Show last Saturday. The show had over 70 vendors with holiday crafts, candles, baked goods, face painting, and so much more.
Today we're hosting our Fall Vendor Show. This is the 4th fifth year for our fall vendor show. We actually have 85 vendors here, give or take a few. And we do this every year, the second week of November. We'll be hosting it again next year.
There was a $2 charge to get into the vendor show, but after it was paid, you could shop for as long as you wanted. And it did, in fact, take a while to get through all of the vendors.
We start off every year, we open up registration in February for our vendors, and we invite our past vendors first dibs. It stays open through the week, and we ended up with 85. We map out where everybody.
Last Friday was Veterans Day, and to honor those who served, Waynesburg University held the second annual Walk to Remember. The event happened Thursday before Veterans Day, and students were invited to talk with the visiting veterans about their life experiences. For that service project, students were stuffing stockings and writing Christmas cards to be sent out to the veterans. The program was put on by the Military and Veterans Student Initiatives program on campus in partnership with a Bonner Scholars program. And we here at WCTV would like to thank all veterans for their service.
The Rudy Marisa Fieldhouse has recently undergone renovations, specifically the addition of a brand new state-of-the-art video board. The installation was completed in 3 days. The majority of the project was funded by a large donation from a single donor, but the remainder was funded through a number of donations from alumni and friends. In addition to the video board, there are new scoreboards, banners, shot clocks, and locker room clocks that will serve as essentials on game days in the Fieldhouse. According to Athletic Director Adam Jack, the video board will be able to show pregame videos, video introductions, commercials, and more. It will be utilized for any event that is being held in the Marisa Fieldhouse, including sporting events and events held through student development. You can see the new tech in action at Waynesburg's Home Wrestling Duels on Saturday, November 19th at 11 a.m. in the Fieldhouse. That's all we have for campus and local news. When we come back, we'll have news from around the nation.
This is producer Caleb Yager, and you are watching The Buzz.
Welcome back to the Newscast, live at 5, only on Channel 14 News, when we have some breaking news to bring to you. Just a few hours ago, Nancy Pelosi spoke on her future in politics, ultimately dropping the announcement that she would not run for re-election in the next Congress. Here's what she had to say in her own words.
My friends, no matter what title you all, my colleagues, have bestowed upon me, Speaker, Leader, Whip, there is no greater official honor for me than to stand on this floor and to speak for the people of San Francisco. This I will continue to do as a member of the House, speaking for the people of San Francisco, serving the great state of California, and defending our Constitution. And with great confidence in our caucus, I will not seek re-election to Democratic leadership in the next Congress.
Meanwhile, the number 2 Democrat in Congress, Steny Hoyer, announced that he would be stepping away from caucus leadership and would not run for re-election as House Majority Leader. NATO leaders are working with Poland to determine the origin of missiles that hit near a Polish town that borders Ukraine. 2 people were reportedly killed, but Russia's government says they had nothing to do with it. A spokesperson for the U.S. State Department said they can't confirm the strike in Poland, but the NATO country is now calling on its allies for support. Jen Sullivan breaks down the reported attack and explains how global leaders are reacting.
Plumes of smoke fill the sky in the town of Przewidów, Poland, where 2 possible missiles landed, killing at least 2 people. It's unclear where these projectiles came from, but this town borders Ukraine and happened roughly at the same time Russia launched its biggest wave of missile attacks on Ukrainian cities in more than a month, leaving some to question whether Russia played a role.
Today happened what we warned about a long time ago. This terror is not limited to our national borders. It has spread to the territory of Moldova, and today Russian missiles hit Poland.
Russia's defense ministry denies their involvement, but the possible attack has many global leaders on edge. A NATO official saying, "We are looking into these reports and closely coordinating with our ally Poland." The U.S. echoing a similar sentiment.
We agreed to support Poland's investigation into the explosion in rural Poland near the Ukrainian border, and I'm going to make sure we figure out exactly what happened.
The Pentagon saying the U.S. would defend its NATO ally.
We will defend every inch of NATO territory.
I'm Jen Sullivan reporting.
A University of Virginia student is opening up about what she witnessed Sunday when a gunman shot and killed 3 student athletes and injured 2 other students. Ryan Lynch says she, her classmates, and a professor were returning from a class trip to Washington, D.C. when the suspect pulled out a gun on the bus. Lynch gave an emotional account of the shooting, including what she says the suspect did before allegedly opening fire. Aziza Schuler reports.
And so we thought he was going to shoot everyone in the bus at that point.
Those are the chilling words from 19-year-old Ryan Lynch as she shares with Eyewitness News exclusively the devastating late-night phone call she made to her mother Sunday night, detailing how a perfect day quickly turned into a nightmare.
We had been in the same class the whole year, but this was just truly the bonding experience.
Lynch says Sunday evening, about 25 of her classmates and a professor were returning from a field trip in D.C. when a student who police identified as Christopher Darnell Jones Jr. pulled out a gun as they were arriving back on campus.
Chris got up and pushed Lavelle, and then after he pushed him, he was like, you guys are always messing with me. He said something weird like that. But it was very bizarre because they didn't talk to him the whole trip.
Then Lynch describes the fear and fury.
And there just kept coming more and more gunshots. The shooter just kind of walked or like skipped off the bus when I saw him pass.
Police say Jones allegedly killed 3 UVA football players, one of them Lynch's friend.
He just had so many gunshots in him, and all the men had such a beautiful spirit to them. They always had a smile on their face. They never showed any level of exhaustion. So personable and kind.
We spoke with her mother, Robin Lynch, in Wynwood hours after receiving the frightening call no parent ever wants to hear.
I think it's a sad state of affairs that, our children have to live to some degree in fear of, the potential of something like this.
UVA's president identified the 3 students killed as Devin Chandler, Lavelle Davis Jr., and Deshaun Perry. Prosecutors identified the 2 students injured in the shooting as Marley Morgan and Michael Hollins. A UVA health spokesperson who didn't identify either person said Tuesday that one was discharged and the other was in a serious condition. Hollins' family told CNN he was intubated but in stable condition. Jones was arrested Monday morning and is facing numerous charges, including second-degree murder. His first court hearing was yesterday, November 15th, with his next date being December 8th.
Former President Donald Trump is once again running for president. He made it official on Tuesday night as he addressed supporters at his Mar-a-Lago estate in Palm Beach, Florida.
In order to make America great and glorious again, I am tonight announcing my candidacy for President of the United States.
Trump filed the necessary paperwork to make a run for president in 2024 on Tuesday. He is expected to face a crowded Republican field that could include Florida Governor Ron DeSantis and even his former running mate, former Vice President Mike Pence. Shortly after the announcement, Trump's daughter Ivanka released a statement saying she would not be involved further in politics. She said she plans to support her father in, quote, outside of the political arena.
Mitch McConnell will stay on as the Republican Senate leader. He won a secret ballot leadership election Wednesday. It puts him on pace to become the longest-serving Senate party leader in U.S. history. McConnell beat out Senator Rick Scott and his first challenger in his 15 years atop his conference. After the win, McConnell said he doesn't mind the competition and he, quote, doesn't own the job. On the other side of the political aisle, Majority Leader Chuck Schumer announced the Democratic caucus leader elections will be December 8th. That's according to a source who was at a lunch for the Senate Democrats on Wednesday.
Job cuts are underway at Amazon. The online retailer reportedly plans to cut around 10,000 workers. Amazon said in a memo the initial cuts will impact positions within its devices and services team. The retailer blames its consolidation of some teams and programs for the layoffs. The company has not said how many employees will be impacted by this initial stage, but the workers received notices on Tuesday and will receive support and assistance in finding new jobs. That's all for national news. When we come back, we'll have Madeline Verhoff with your business and entertainment update. But first, we have Rebecca Vaughn outside for a quick look at the weather. Rebecca?
Yes, Micah, thank you. I'm actually still inside here in Buell on the campus of Waynesburg University because it's just simply a little bit too cold out there for me. I woke up this morning and there was ice on my car. Let me tell you, it's currently at 34 degrees outside. Stick around for the rest of the show because I'll have your full weather update later.
Hello and welcome. I'm Madeline Verhoff, and this is the Newscast Business and Entertainment Update. Beyonce's name will be said more than any other artist when the nominations are read at next year's Grammy Awards. Rick DeMiguela has the story in our Hollywood Minute.
Beyonce's Break My Soul is up for Record of the Year and Song of the Year at the 2023 Grammy Awards. The singer topped all other performers with 9 nominations, which ties her with husband Jay-Z as the most nominated artists in Grammy history. The awards will be handed out February 5th.
Why are you in London? I'm going to put on a show at this famous theater.
People are numb, disconnected. We're going to wake them up with a wave of passion they've never felt before.
Here's your first look at Magic Mike's Last Dance. The threequel reunites Channing Tatum with director Steven Soderbergh, who directed the original film, and co-stars Salma Hayek. Magic Mike's Last Dance begins February 10th.
Cats have 9 lives. Watch!
Boss, I think you set the oven too high.
Now I am on my last life.
Oh no!
Salma Hayek will be heard even sooner than that, alongside the voice of Antonio Banderas in Puss in Boots: The Last Wish. The sequel arrives 11 years after the original Puss in Boots. The cat's out of the bag December 21st. In Hollywood, I'm Rick DeMiguela.
An investigator of the now bankrupt crypto exchange FTX is suing celebrities that endorsed the platform. Wednesday, lawyers for Edwin Garrison filed a lawsuit against FTX's founder Sam Bankman-Fried, as well as public figures like Tom Brady, Gisele Bündchen, and Steph Curry. The lawyer behind the proposed class action suit alleges FTX was a, quote, massive Ponzi scheme larger than the Madoff scheme, and he says it could have only been successful with the help of celebrities and influencers. FTX imploded last week, collapsing and filing for bankruptcy. Bankman-Fried also resigned as CEO of the giant crypto platform. If you have a store-branded credit card, you might want to double-check the APR before you use it again. According to a credit card analyst for the Lending Tree, at least half dozen major retail cards, including Kroger, Bloomsdale, Macy's, Shell, ExxonMobil, and Wayfair, recently bumped up their maximum APRs to more than 30%. High inflation is forcing American consumers to rack up more debt and to lean on credit cards. On one hand, the credit cards can help make high-priced repairs and purchases feasible, But on the other hand, if you carry a balance on a credit card with a 30% APR, it can quickly lead to financial trouble. For example, if you made only a minimum payment on a $1,000 credit card balance, you'd be in debt for more than 4 years and have to pay $775 just in interest. One financial expert says credit cards are more like power tools, really useful, but they can also be dangerous, so use caution. Mariah Carey can call herself the Queen of Christmas, but so can anyone else. The singer lost her bid to trademark the phrase with the U.S. Trademark Trial and Appeal Board. Fans gave Carey the title of the popularity of her 1994 holiday hit song All I Want for Christmas Is You. She then applied for exclusive rights to own Queen Christmas, Princess Christmas, and QOC. But fellow holiday music singer Elizabeth Chan asked the board to block Carey's trademark attempt. Ultimately, when the board sided with Chan, who says there is more than one Queen of the Holiday. That's all for your business and entertainment update. When we return, we'll be with Caleb Yager for the latest in Waynesburg sports.
Back here on Channel 14 News, I'm Caleb Yager, and here's what's going on for Waynesburg athletics. Going to some sports, the Yellow Jackets football team wrapped up its season this past Saturday at home against the W&J Presidents. Waynesburg was held scoreless in the 56-0 shutout. The Yellow Jackets finished at 4-6 overall with a 3-5 record in conference play, but the team doubled its win total from last season after going 2-8 and during the 2021 campaign. The wrestling team traveled to W&J this past Saturday to participate in the W&J Invitational, which resulted with an 18th place finish. Harley Constable led the Yellow Jackets going 4-2, and guys like Seth Evans, Ryan Bachar, and Kyle Heinerman all went 2-2 at the contest. This Saturday, it's going to be a busy day at the Rudy Marisa Fieldhouse for the Waynesburg duels. RIT, Shippensburg, and Messiah are all coming to Waynesburg for the match, and the Yellow Jackets have matches at 11, 12:30, and 2 o'clock. Men's and women's basketball opened conference play on the road against Chatham last night. The women opened up the doubleheader with a 72-51 loss. Avery Robinson led the way in scoring with 21 points, 4 rebounds, and went 3 of 9 from deep. In fact, Robinson was the only Yellow Jacket to hit a three-pointer. The biggest stat of the night, though, was one that Waynesburg will want to forget: 32 turnovers. On the men's side, an epic comeback was not enough against Chatham as the Cougars held on to win 76-71. Waynesburg was trailing by double digits for a large portion of the contest and had it within 3 points with under 2 minutes left to play. But Chatham had the last laugh with a 5-point win. Jansen Knotts dominated with 21 points and 6 rebounds, and the veteran Matt Popek dropped a double-double with 19 points and 12 rebounds. Another PAC doubleheader is in the mix for Saturday at Bethany College for conference game number 2 for both squads. The women start at 1 p.m. and the men tip off at 3 p.m. And it's playoff time for esports. League of Legends lost in a tough contest last night against King's College 2-1. But Overwatch 2 has a playoff match tonight against Hood College at 7. And tomorrow, Super Smash Bros. And the undefeated Rocket League squad will participate in the playoffs as well. And that's the latest for Waynesburg sports. Stay tuned for your weather forecast with Rebecca Vaughn, which is coming up here next on Channel 14 News.
You're watching WCTV, where we aim to bring you the best local coverage of what you care about most. Everything from local businesses to hometown sports and the latest weather. We're keeping up to date with what you need to know about issues that affect our campus and our community. We're telling the stories that matter, celebrating our past, our future, and our potential. So tune in for all the latest buzz right here on WCTV Channel 14, Waynesburg.
Hello and happy Thursday, everyone. I'm Rebecca Vaughn here with your full weather update. It's been mighty chilly this week, and it doesn't look like it's going to be getting any warmer. Today, we have a high of only 36 degrees and a low of 26. It's been cloudy out there all day today, and that won't change going into tomorrow. For your Friday, we are seeing more clouds and high of just 35 degrees and a low all the way down at 22. If any students are heading home for Friday night, watch out for any icy patches because it's that time of the year where we start to see slippery roads. On Saturday, we may see the sun peek out in the afternoon hours, but the temperatures will just keep dropping. The high on Saturday is a brisk 32 degrees with a low of only 20. And the trend continues. Sunday will be sunny, but the high is only 30. The low will be all the way down at 19. I don't know about you, but I'll be breaking out my hat and scarf this weekend. Going into your week on Monday, we will get a little bit warmer, high of 41 degrees, sunny skies, a low of 20. On Tuesday, we're getting warmer yet with a high of 45, low of 26, and sunny skies. Wednesday, we will see partly cloudy skies with a high of 48 and a low of 28. And on Thursday, a week from today, is Thanksgiving. The high for Thanksgiving will be all the way at 50 with a low of 28. So eat up, enjoy the nicer weather, and then hunker down later for a nice nap when the weather turns cold. That's all I have here for your full weather forecast. Now back to the guys on the desk.
Thanks, Rebecca. And folks, we're not going to have a newscast next Thursday because it's Thanksgiving. Brock, we ask this question every year, but it's important we need to ask it again. What's your favorite food?
Listen, I'm actually I think that Thanksgiving's a little bit overrated with its food. I truly do. I think it's supposed to be the biggest day of the year as far as food goes. I think turkey's mediocre. Mashed potatoes are mediocre. You know what I do think is underrated? Green bean casserole.
Yeah, I'm not sure how I feel about that, Brock. Caleb, weigh in for us.
Are you serious, Brock? This is, okay, we don't have time to debate all of this, but I will say that stuffing is so underrated. I am a big fan of stuffing. A little bit of gravy as well.
I can respect that. Madeline, finish us off.
Caleb, I agree with you. Brock, what's wrong with you? Green bean casserole, come on. I mean, Thanksgiving's the best time of the year when you can just eat your weight in and then take a nap for the rest of the day.
Well, I think the results are clear. As I mentioned, no newscast next Thursday. Have a happy Thanksgiving, everyone. And we'll be back in 2 weeks. Join us on WCTV, Waynesburg University, on YouTube, as always.
This has been a production of Waynesburg Community Television.